Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Mysterious JG. So, it was actually getting pretty late when I was recording the last video, and I went to bed because that's the beautiful thing about the PS4 is put it into it's kind of like the opposite of Power Max in the SNK games. You can go into Power Min mode. But I was only somewhat sure that if I actually shut the thing down, it would come back at the same place. But here we are walking around. In my case, we got a full night's sleep, but for Arthur, things are not quite as good right now. Well, he did wake up. I guess he'd had a night of sleep before he woke up and the ship was crashing. Can't move the camera. But he's wandering around on some kind of unknown island, which I'll be curious to see if it turns out to be part of the map or not. I suppose I could check right now. I know, well, there's a map. It is, a whole new... Oh, wow. It really is a whole new world. It looks like, we may have an area that... Oh, whatever exciting exploration we're going to do here, I better keep a separate save file here, folks, because, it's starting to feel like, this might not be part of the open world, exploration we get to do later. Okay, thanks for switching the camera angle on me, game, but still making me... This is a very Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain feel. It's like, okay, again, we're gonna have this extended period where to keep you engaged, to make you feel connected with the character, it is gonna stop if you let go of the button. But there's really nothing that you can do except to hold a button a very specific way to get things to slowly advance. I don't know why I'm so churlish with the game right now. I'm picking out all the... I was doing this last night. I was picking on... Man, they seem to be going out of their way to get all the social justice stuff in. Instead of, it seems like they're leading in on that hard. Now I'm like, oh, this game mechanic, and it's a false way of making you feel engaged, even though really what you're seeing is a bunch of cinematics and blah, blah, blah. The biggest thing that's bothering me is, it just felt like they kind of rushed into... Okay, bank robbery segues immediately onto fleeing on a boat, which crashes into an island. And the whole, unless we find out that, one of the crew betrays you and intentionally sabotages the boat, it's like, what are the odds that they're going to go directly from this boat to shipwrecked on an island? I mean, how many boats... How many cargo ships sail around for everyone that shipwrecks on an island? I guess it's not like I can complain Robinson Crusoe was a poor storytelling. But that one, the entire premise of the story is they're shipwrecked on an island. It's not like a million things happen. Oh, and along the way they get briefly shipwrecked on an island. Because I don't think we're going to have, 4 hours of screen time devoted to being shipwrecked on an island. Although I suppose we could. I mean, if you knew what was safe to eat, it seems like a fairly pleasant island to be shipwrecked on. Chapter 5, Guarma. I guess this probably officially means he's going to miss the opportunity to reunite with his lady love, whose brother fell in with the Trelawneyans. Oh, my cores are all empty. And I don't have my journal. Tasks, Dutch Vanderlyn, welcome to the New World. Having survived the shipwreck and now washed ashore on a remote island, Archer begins searching for the gang. Arthur, where the hell am I? Hey, we might be able to find, still got cigarette cards and legendary fish and stuff. So that's pretty cool. We got various home robberies like Catfish Jackson's, although we're not allowed to investigate right now. I was looking to see if we had access to our journal, or I don't seem to be allowed to whistle for my horse. And it looks like now I would have been allowed to save. Because my whole thing now... Oh, no, I'm still not allowed to save. Okay. My thing last night was I need to get to bed, but I can't actually call it. I can't actually, like, wake up tomorrow, think about breakfast, and then record something else. I've got to do more Red Dead Redemption. It's a good eye. I didn't even see the smoke. Arthur's a regular Seymour smoke detector. Yeah, there's the smoke. I see it now. But yeah, you're a regular Seymour smoke detector there, Arthur. So it's somebody... that must be Charles. I bet you anything it's Charles. He's the one who has, like, survival skills because he's Native American. Oh, no, never mind. I'm full of shit.
You're alive. Arthur?
Oh, everybody else is fine. Okay. I'm the only jobber who can... Well, never mind. Charles didn't make it to the boat anyway.
It is a miracle. It is a goddamn miracle. Here, have something to drink. Have a drink. Somebody give him a goddamn drink.
Here's some salt water, Arthur.
Oh, son.
Even Michael looks happy to see you.
Take it easy.
It is disgusting outie belly button.
We got you.
No wonder Micah seems like such a scumbag. He's got an outie belly button. Here's that paradise you told us. Yeah, I imagine people are angry at Dutch about now.
Where the hell are we? We are on the island of Guam. Javier asked the local. It's a old sugar plantation island. Second island east of Cuba. Is it anywhere near Australia or Tahiti?
Nope.
On the way, I guess. So, what next? I don't know.
Well, here's those locals you talked about.
Well, next I guess we're gonna get shot.
Encadenen a estos hombres.
Gentlemen, this is quite a welcome.
Who are you?
Senor, por favor, we are no one.
What's your name?
Aiden O'Malley.
Is that so?
Aiden English.
What are you doing, Mr. O'Malley?
Surviving. We were lost at sea. In the storm.
Is that so?
No, I'm in the habit of looking like this. Is all of this really necessary?
He's getting real smarky with the guy who just barely... Well, I guess he speaks really good English. It seemed like he was supposed to be
Behave yourselves
a
and no
Spanish
harm will
guy who
befall
spoke only a little English, but that was a second ago. I guess I didn't have a lot of opportunity to figure that out. Cool, we get to spend the rest of the game as slave labor. Nice.
You've got a long walk ahead of you.
And we're going to force you to press the L button every part of the way so that you can feel engaged. We certainly don't want you to just have a cinema scene where you're not directly engaged.
Senior overseer for Alberto Fusar.
Alberto Del Rio?
Third most productive sugar plantation in the northern Caribbean. Of course, where there's money to be made, there's trouble.
To be had.
What sort of trouble?
No, the usual sort.
People like you?
People wanting what ain't theirs and others telling them to take it.
So just immediately...
I don't get you.
Okay, this guy thinks that we're some kind of vagabond, so he immediately starts explaining opportunities we have to steal from them. Sorry.
Labor troubles. And other thieves and pirates looking to disrupt our ways of working.
Yeah, that's what we can do for them pirates.
Very upsetting for you.
Not half as upsetting as it'll be for them. Mr. Fusar has a lot of very powerful friends.
For example, there's this mafia guy in fake New Orleans that helps us sometimes. We haven't heard from him for a while. Oh, really? Come on. Okay. Any kind of advance warning that things were... So I guess this thing didn't connect right last night, because before I went to bed, I set it up to recharge. And any kind of advance warning would have been good, so I didn't look and feel like an idiot.
Up in the streets soon.
And now, now it's continuing without me, and I'm not walking. Except I am, so never mind, it was all bullshit. Like, now I'm not pressing the button anymore. Oh, okay. I got it. I get interrupted with a little thing where I'm hitting the leg.
He was headed to Tahiti.
You was going to scenic route. Just as soon as I know exactly who you are, you'll be free. Meantime, you'll not.
Wait a second. How was it the scenic route, motherfucker? We left Saint Denis, which is supposed to be New Orleans, right? If it's not supposed to be New Orleans, it's supposed to be definitely something on the Gulf of Mexico. And from there, we are traveling to Tahiti, right? So it's there's no airplanes. How do you get from New Orleans by boat to Tahiti? You have to go through the Panama Canal. So, I mean, I don't have a map in front of me right now, but, like, I guess if we hit the Caribbean, it meant we went too far east. It doesn't seem like we're that far off track. It's not like we went to the frickin' North Africa. Oh, if only I had one of the heroes of Uncharted Waters New Horizons to help me. I couldn't remember what the name of the Explorer one is. The Dutch kid who has kind of the most boring but open of these storylines.
What now, Aiden? I don't know.
Well, now it's time to betray Rusev.
I think we've got to get out of here. Yeah, but they
If
can't
it's the last thing we ever do. Oh, do we have our identification with this?
We're stuck, Ben.
Ha ha ha, you're stuck.
Well, for what it's worth,
So I'm just letting go again to see if that happens again.
You and me both.
Okay, maybe it just always happens you get hit at that point, but I was switching my controllers up. I wasn't actually pressing a button, and it seems like we got whacked, so. Well, this is nice because I had been kind of complaining about how Red Dead Redemption 2 keeps in throwing. It's not always 21st century. I mean, the things that were wrong in 19th century America were wrong even then. It's just our perspective is different in the 21st century. But yeah, boy, if you want to zoom in on some place where life wasn't great in the 19th century and ain't necessarily great in the 21st century, you can find a lot of stuff to feel a little bit smug about in the Caribbean. I mean, we're not in Haiti, but I don't even know if this is a real island or a fictional island off the coast of Cuba. But yeah, sugar plantation. That's a place where life's not good for some folks, for sure.
Well, they got them chained and lashed, but they don't look too dangerous. Excuse me, sir.
I'm about to say, I don't know if we're literally going to go with slave labor in the 19th century here.
What crime did they commit?
Insurrección. Insurrection? That's quite a word. Cállate, señor Fuentes.
Yeah, wait a second. Why the hell isn't Javier doing the talking for us right now? I completely forgot he was with us. We got Dutch having everyone speak to him in accented English, when there's really not much reason that most of these guys would know any English. Javier, it felt, I'm just bitching about the game. I'm not normally this down on the game. But Javier barely seemed like he was been involved in the story at all. He gets his occasional little, I'm going to rob a coach with you and just you one-on-one time missions. And he was the one who helped you find John Marston at the beginning of the game, where it really felt like they were just appealing to those of us who are sentimental for characters from RDR1. But other than that, he's barely done anything. This is his chance. He's our native Spanish speaker. We're on a Spanish-speaking island. Javier should be important now. Boy, I tell you, it's like we live charmed lives. First of all, we get immediately shipwrecked on a boat where there's no particular reason to think that's going to happen. So we're basically betraying. We're attacking the guards, not the guys who are attacking the guards, because they were targeted that way.
Good work, Arthur.
You rock, man. Can I loot him? Nope, no chance to loot.
Everyone okay? Yeah.
See?
Damn. Reinforcements.
Mon Dieu. We need to get out of here.
Now we're in trouble.
Come on, vite, everyone, follow me. Vite, vite. Come.
Okay, there basically is like a slavery thing happening.
Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a lot of them.
What do you think?
We gotta move, Dutch.
Besides, we know we won't die.
We'll find you.
Cooey, go, go.
Oh crap, which one of us speaks French? They can be silent while these guys speak broken English to Dutch with French accents. Okay, so we're on some kind of quasi-Haiti where there's slave revolts going on. Except Haiti wasn't a Spanish colony, so never mind.
Hey.
We immediately trust you, strange foreigners. Oh, that's dynamite he's hiding behind, eh? Trying to do a little bit better with headshots here.
Let's get up there. You too. Come on. Push. Pop on them.
What are you talking about? I'm doing fine here. Island belongs to everyone.
This is a hell of a way.
Even though you didn't push up like we told you to, Arthur, you son of a bitch. Alright. Oh, damn it, I needed a loot. I don't even have a hat.
Quick.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, I'm complaining that it just seems really absurd, all the
doing here?
coincidences, but the,
I have no idea.
it's still
Running
exciting.
from somebody or something, I guess.
I went with
Suddenly the game turned into frickin'
Thank you,
Assassin's
Fontaine.
Creed Black Flag, and nobody watched that LP of mine, so
Drowned rats or Micah, Bill, and Arthur.
I introduce people in
Okay.
reverse alphabetical order.
Well, Fusa will be desperate to find you. We must be very careful.
Really?
So, who is this Fusar?
Does he speak broken English and some other accent?
Our only purpose is to work ourselves to death to make him rich.
Leon wants the people to stand up to Fusa, but most are too afraid.
And you?
I am not from here. I bring things in and off the islands behind Colonel Fusa's back. Let's
Fair enough.
let's rest a moment. Down there is Agua Dulce, Fusa's compound. The sugarcane these poor men kill themselves farming gets processed in that factory there.
They're little more than slaves shipped in from other islands.
Thanks,
A group
guy who
escaped
sounds a
yesterday
lot
into
like
the jungle,
Javier.
hoping to find a way back to their homes.
Now Fusa's men are out hunting
Like,
them
literally, it sounded like that was Javier,
what?
except that they forgot
Cinco
Javier's not
Dones.
here, so they
down.
created
My
a
men
new
and I use
model.
that as a hideout when we are here.
Even though it's pretty obvious. Look at it.
I know somewhere you men can rest.
Can we trust you?
I don't see you have any choice. I am the only one who can arrange a boat for you.
Well, Fusar could if
But-
you'd stayed here.
I need something
that
in
you-
return. Help
well,
Leon with that group of escaped
I would
workers,
say
and
prove
then
you good
come meet
slave
me at the fort.
laborers, but that would probably not have
You
earned
help
you a
us
boat
get
away.
back our friend and get out of here. We will do everything we can.
Thank you.
Gracias.
So
If
this
your
is where
body's still
Dutch
alive,
starts turning into
we
a
will have
freedom
him at
fighter.
Fusa's compound. There is a cave hidden below the cliffs. It will lead you right there.
Thank you.
The workers are somewhere in the jungle. Hopefully we can get to them before Fusa does.
Of course.
Gentlemen,
Well,
goodbye.
if this is a tropical paradise, so far it ain't up to much.
I'll go scope the entrance to that cave. Arthur,
I need to get some rest.
well, you're right. We all need to relax.
Relax, yeah, chill out.
What a mess. I am so sorry. Boys,
Get some sleep, Dutch.
Micah, guard this spot.
While you
Bill,
sleep.
Do some more scouting. Carefully.
Well, I would imagine some form of free roam on the island if there is ever going to be such a thing is starting soon, but this is weird. It's supposed to be a Wild West game, and they suddenly decided we're going to do like a Oh, Brave New World. Apparently, I didn't do it well enough. I didn't fall behind when walking along with the Change Gang. Oh, let's redo the mission so that I don't do that. Let's redo the mission so that my controller doesn't bug out. I was actually trying for headshots that time, but whatever. This is a weird. I'm trying to think through. Do I object on some level to this development? It's supposed to be an open world game with story elements set in the Old West, and they've given us this. Slave revolt in the Caribbean scenario that we're going to play through. Okay, I guess the time works out right. Slavery in, I don't know a huge deal about the history of the Caribbean, but obviously the slave trade was a huge impact there. Somebody who knows more about it will know the timing of when it formally ended, and also more about whether there's parts of the Caribbean where similar conditions still exist, even if not legally slavery anymore. And obviously, Bill is a Civil War veteran, and we don't really know what side he fought for. But yeah, like the entire American Western mythos is strongly tied to the Civil War, because Civil War fiction, or rather, Old West fiction tends to be a place, unfortunately, where the Southern veteran being disenchanted with the way the war went is sometimes a big part of the mythos. But here it's like, okay, let's just like pick these guys. Let's have a mission go bad. Let's have them get on a boat. Let's have the fact that they're on that boat through, like, we won't even include the captain of the boat as a character, because we're just going to kind of, off screen, Dutch talks the captain into helping you get to Tahiti, which already seems like a wonky story thread. It's the kind of thing that, like, yeah, George and Lenny might have been dreaming of going to Tahiti. It's the kind of thing that happens in a Western book, but characters talk about it, but it doesn't actually ever occur. But in this case, it kind of does, because even though we didn't get to Tahiti, we got to some place that feels just as far removed and rando as Tahiti would, which is the Caribbean. But now that we're in the Caribbean, like, we're captured by bad guys, immediately rescued by freedom fighters who immediately trust us and give us guns and give us a camp. And we have like a 4-minute conversation with them where they establish that we are going to team up and be part of their revolution. But they trust us completely with these guns. And they've given us our own little camp, which is separate from their camp. And at our leisure, we are going to initiate plot missions to attack the bad guys. I guess that's, out of all of this, the fact that we get on a boat that happens to wash up in the Caribbean, that everybody, like the captain of that boat and everyone else associated with the boat, they were never characters, so they disappear. There are no survivors other than the members of Dutch's gang from this shipwreck. It's just a very kind of artificial plot device to drop us into some side quest storyline that somebody thought would be interesting to do with a Caribbean slave revolt, where we're just like, oh, we don't have enough material to make like a separate game. Or we don't really want to do like, it would almost be like if this was like some kind of storyline DLC, I could accept, okay, well, they felt like doing this DLC, so they just have text up front that says, what if Dutch and the gang were in the Caribbean? It might go something like this. No, they tried to integrate it into the main story, and it just feels incredibly tacked on. Well, just got to look at what facilities we have in our new camp. We are wanted dead or alive on this entire zone. And I guess I don't have to worry too much about what my wanted level was before we left. I guess I don't have to worry too much about what our wanted level was before we left, because it might be reset now. Who knows for sure. Well, we've got a stranger mission, and we've got... Oh, but it's a required stranger mission. Dutch just told you to go see about the workers. And then we have Dutch is scouting for the hidden cave entrance to Fusar's compound. Interesting. Then at our little camp, we've got a weapon. And I suppose we'll be dressed like this for our entire Caribbean adventure. It won't make sense that I can suddenly get like the Cavalier outfit or... We can drop the cattleman's pistol for a volcanic pistol. We got various cartridges. Nice that we're well armed over here. Item-wise, all we have is a okay, so we're not fully armed with whatever our awesome weapons are. Hopefully we'll get some of those things back when we return to the main story area, because it's kind of annoying to think that you got all the super cool wappets. Also, I thought we were allowed to have more than one pistol. Well, we got our satchel, but it's empty. So it's not really our satchel, we have a satchel. Canned vegetables. I'm just going to take everything that the camp has. I'm not leaving it for anyone else because it doesn't actually affect them. It doesn't affect them, dude. I wasn't paying attention. Vegetable of the day. Well, we got our cores back anyway, just from resting. You got a chance to rest out of the sun, and what do you know? It had a very good effect on our health, as it would. So, miracle tonic, health cure. Oh, this is a nice little base. Don't know how long we've been gone. Don't really know the fate of any of the ladies, of Herr Strauss, whose connection to the gang seems kind of odd. He's like a moneylender for us, but how do we expect people to repay their loans timely? Because we're always sent to go beat the shit out of people who don't repay their loans, but how are they expected to repay their loans if Herr Strauss lives at a like secret hideout where he, if anyone approaches, we kill them, and yet they're expected to like make timely repayments to Herr Strauss on their loans? That seems kind of weird. So I'm still looking around our camp to see if there's stuff I'm missing. This mode is always seems to me very inconsistent about what you are and are not able to see when you go to, you know, thief eye mode, because Micah doesn't light up. So it's not just like it shows you stuff that's alive. It generally seems to show you stuff you're allowed to interact with. But again, I don't really, the rated R superstar, I don't really get how I'm supposed to get to the weapons menu here. We're now underweight because we haven't been eating that much, which does something to... I think your hit points are low and your stamina recovery is high. I don't really remember how that works. We've got a decent... Our core drain rate is 80%. Is that good or bad? I have no idea. Well, whatever. Our horse. Situation unknown. Our horse is dirty somewhere. It's calm. It's totally fine with the fact that we've disappeared. My lovely horse, too, is like, well, this is where I know I'm not going to end up. Parked on the train tracks. Turns out if you're 100% completionist, you have to get exotic tropical birds here to finish that one quest. Who knows? Anyway, let's talk to Micah, our good friend, and then call it a video.
Still can't believe it. Hosea, Lenny.
Hosea was dying anyway. Lenny.
He was also dying anyway.
You know what they say about pride before a fall.
That's all you gotta say?
Wow, he's not even remotely sad.
Okay. Guess I'll leave you to it then.
Sure, Morgan.
Yeah, I think that comment kind of deserves a punch in the face. But I guess we're not giving punches in the faces right now. This might not be the time to do something about the fact that Mike has kind of always been a bit of an asshole. Might be that it's more time for us to come together right now over Dutch. Yeah. Anyways, right, so I got to a save point. That was kind of my objective. I'm enjoying Red Dead Redemption 2 right now, but I probably have to switch away just to keep some other LPs going. At any rate, when we come back next time... Oh, I'm got my remote control turned around completely backwards. Nope. I just woke up. When we come back next time, yeah, we're stranded in the middle of a Caribbean slave revolt. You know, like what tends to happen, and we're going to overthrow the slave masters of an island at the behest of random freedom fighters who immediately gave us guns. You know, like you do. We'll see about some more of that next time. Bye bye.